Eduardo Del Real here with Junior Resource Monthly, where I showcase high-risk, high-reward mining stock investment opportunities, the kinds that I'm personally investing in and that have earned me and my subscribers a few extra zeros in our accounts over the past 5 years. I'm on my way to see what I think is going to be the most exciting discovery of my career, and you're coming with me. We're heading to a brand new discovery in South America. We are going to see firsthand what I think could become one of the hottest copper and gold investment stories of the decade, and what could become the largest copper gold belt in the history of the world. I think it could become as big as Escondida, which is the biggest copper mine in the world. And I believe the land package we're going to visit contains multiple styles of gold, copper, and silver deposits that will be considered world-class. But the world doesn't know about these deposits yet. They are in the Peruvian jungle, where narcos used to grow and smuggle cocaine. So no legitimate industries could operate there. It was just too dangerous. That's all changed in the past several years as the government has forced the drug gangs out and opened the area up for business and investment. And that's when this company seized its chance. A small group of geologists I know and have done business with for well over a decade knew about the gold and copper potential in this area all throughout the narco years. When it became clear that the area was safe, they quietly staked it and became a top 10 landholder in the country, up there with companies like Barrick and Newmont. And early indications point to this being the biggest copper gold discovery of the past quarter century. There is so much copper and gold at surface that you might be able to mine the dirt. It is literally seeping out of the ground in some areas. The last company I felt this excited about was a 10,000% winner for us. That was a lithium play in Quebec named Patriot Battery Metals. I first alerted readers to it at 16 cents, and we watched it soar all the way to $17. That isn't the only high-flying journey I have taken subscribers on. Before that, we took a trip to Argentina to see another lithium mining company and took an early position. It was ultimately acquired by Oro Cobre, which merged with Livent to create Arcadium, which was just taken out by Rio Tinto for over $6 billion. So these boots-on-the-ground trips have paid off over the years. There was also the giant gold mine in Idaho with backing from billionaire John Paulson. I had subscribers on site at that mine many years ago. Shares of that company have tripled in the past year and are headed much higher as that mine gets permitted and built. And I don't just think the company we'll see on this trip today could exceed it. I think it could far exceed all of them combined. Already, multiple major companies who were shown the early data are throwing millions at the small company that owns it to get a piece. And when I say small, you can still buy shares for under $1 today. But if half of the early indications are right, it won't stay that cheap for long. Which is why I'm lacing up my boots, heading to South America, and bringing you along. Because these opportunities don't come around often, but when they do, you need to jump on them. Let's get going. We're in Atlanta, headed to what I think is going to be one of the most important professional trips we've ever taken. And couldn't be more excited about it and really excited to share it with y'all. A South American country that I believe has the potential to become the next big copper gold belt. Maybe the biggest copper gold belt in the history of the world. Some of the biggest copper gold deposits, again, in the history of the world come from South America. And this specific region happens to have the right type of rocks, the right age of rocks, and the potential is absolutely massive. We all have wins, we all have losses, and we try to make sure that the wins count. And I think this one, the last one that I felt this excited about was a 10,000% return for us. And I think this has the potential to not just exceed it, but far exceed it. After a couple-hour flight delay, we were on our way. It's really early in the morning. We got in very, very late last night, about 1 in the morning. Got a few hours of sleep, but really excited to head to what I think is going to be one of the most important copper gold belts discovered in recent times. So we're in South America right now on the way to what I think is going to be a new frontier for exploration. Now, this new frontier of exploration really was brought to us by a team that we've known for 15 or 16 years now, and they've had a track record of discovery over many, many decades. And so for them privately, and I can say it publicly now, to be as excited about the potential here gets me up in the morning with a cup of coffee, ready to get out there and take a peek. You know, I actually don't think it's a mine. I think by the time it's all said and done, it's going to be many, many, many company making mines. And so the secret is that at one point, you couldn't access the land. It was literally illegal. The region was overgrown with some of the more illicit of the green crops, and you just couldn't access it. The government came in along with some U.S. help, really cleaned it up, and lo and behold, you know, we got copper and gold literally oozing out of the ground. So excited to see the scale of that in person. So few people know about this opportunity because it literally is providing the perfect storm for being one of the best kept secrets in the business. A part of that was permitting. It took a while to be able to access the permits. Part of that was its remote location and just the simple fact that it was illegal to get on that land and very dangerous even if you could access it. And then the third part, frankly, is the company's been wanting to be very, very private up until recently about the potential there. And so working with the local communities and the stakeholders, achieving that social license, really doing the technical work to understand the geology to unlock the deep, deep potential that this copper gold belt has. It's never been done before. And so we're finally at a point where we get to see what's underneath the ground literally here in pretty short order. As we prepared to fly over the largest mountain range in South America, the Andes, we talked a lot about resources, specifically copper and gold. Look, I think there's a global mandate, whether you agree with it or not, to move towards a cleaner, greener source of energy or energies, right? You just can't do that without copper. Copper is the most conducive, the best conductor of heat. And so you can't have data centers for AI applications. You can't have homes being built. You can't have mines, you know, lithium mines without being able to have a lot of copper. And the bottom line is for the last 20, 30 years, there's been underinvestment in the copper space. And I think the structural deficits that are developing are going to be with us for years to come. So I think companies that are able to secure safe, responsible sources of copper are going to do very, very well. And the people that are able to recognize those opportunities early on are going to make a lot of money. I think we start in a deficit early next year, and I think it's going to continue on for many, many years. I think this is an opportunity where if you can find the right set of projects, the right teams, the right companies, you're going to have a 5 to 10 year runway of money-making opportunities. And so this trip right here, I think it may be the best one yet, right? I think the last time I saw something at this potential scale was a few years ago with a lithium company called Matrix Battery Metals. And, you know, at one point we were at 10,000% on that. And that was life-changing money for a lot of us. This might have even bigger potential and a copper and gold bull market to go with it. It's no secret that gold hit record high prices in 2024. The gold price has more than doubled since 2019 amid record global government stimulus and inflation. Demand has come from all quarters of the world. We're seeing record central bank buying. We're seeing strong household buying in Asia. Even Costco selling out of bars of bullion as people everywhere seek monetary shelter from political uncertainty, geopolitical nightmares, and paper currency that buys them less and less every day. I expect more record highs for gold in 2025 and beyond. At the same time, gold mining stocks are finally starting to move as the high price of gold falls to their bottom line. They have been great investments for the past year, but they are quickly needing to replace their reserves. And that's why we're already seeing buyouts in the precious metal space that have led to big gains for investors. Core Mining took out Silvercrest in late 2024 for $1.7 billion. And Alamos Gold took out Argonaut in a $325 million deal this past summer. I think the stock we're looking at today could end up being bigger than both those deals. And that's without mentioning copper, which is in a bullish supercycle of its own. Copper prices hit a long-term bottom near the $2.15 per pound level in 2020. They have since risen more than 120% and hit an all-time record high north of $5 per pound in 2024. This is being driven by an emerging supply deficit because of all the copper that is needed for the global energy transition. Put simply, the world will need 60 million metric tons of copper per year by mid-century. But supply is currently expected to peak out at about 30 million metric tons per year in the 2030s. A huge copper deficit is emerging. The market needs to find some more copper, and fast. Major global mining companies are already paying up for it, and in some cases being turned away even at top dollar. I had readers in Filo Mining, which was taken out for $3.25 billion by BHP and Lundin Mining in 2024, as it developed a huge copper project on the border of Chile and Argentina. But BHP was rebuffed when it tried to take out Anglo American for $39 billion. That would have created the largest copper producer in the world. So the copper wars are on, and I think this new discovery in Peru is on the buyout list and could be acquired for a huge premium after just a few drill holes. After a short flight over the Andes, we were ready for a 3-hour drive to the company's field office. The next morning, we were up before the sun for our 2-hour drive to our big hike to the giant in the jungle. A major deposit so rich, copper and gold literally ooze from the rock. With the aid of local guides, we hiked for hours up the side of a mountain, through dense jungle, across streams and rivers, past steep cliff sides headed toward the major deposit area.
So we are about 2 hours in to the site in the middle of the jungle. So when everybody asks, how come nobody else has found these blue rocks coming out of the ground? Because it takes some work, people. Should be fun though, we're almost there.
As we got closer to our destination, the geology became so rich that we could literally pull gold and copper rocks right out of the streams.
A lot of gold at the top of the rainbow, everybody. Literally. Bunch of copper in there too. So we made this trek for. Been out here for almost 4 hours. And at it since 5 in the morning. It's 3. Look at that. After 4 hours walking up a mountain, finally here, guys. This is what I believe is going to set off a rush for copper and gold exploration in this region. I think we're going to be drilling this for 5, 10, maybe 15 years. Not just this project, but surrounding projects. So we couldn't be more excited to be here. We have another 4 hours back. So we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, but look at this.
The geologists were right. Alien-looking blue rocks were indeed oozing out of the cliffside at this deposit site.
It's like alien rock, right, folks? Second time I see alien rock with this company. It happened in 2016 at a pretty special zinc project that unfortunately the commodity price killed, but second time might be a charm. Listen, what makes me so excited about this company and the projects is there's several projects
some of these projects will start being drilled in the next several months, with permits coming as early as the next month. And so that's why the time is now to really, really dig down into the company, because the company is going to be drilling quality projects, company making projects potentially, for the next 5 to 10 years, in my opinion. The company that owns it now has a market cap of roughly $60 million. And the companies that own projects of this scale and that have the kind of land tenure that this company has are in the multi-billion dollars. So you can do the math from 60 million to many, many billion dollars. There's a company recently, Filo Mining, copper gold company, right, was taken out for over $4 billion. There's speculation that there could be several Filo Minings just in this area alone. The average viewer won't know about this because most people just aren't willing to hike the 4 hours it takes to get to the site and then sit around for half an hour, look at this beautiful, beautiful rock, and then go do another 4-hour hike back down, right? Not to mention the fact that, you know, on top of the 4 hours, it took 2 hours to drive here. It's gonna take another 2 hours after the 4-hour hike back. So consider the flight time, the ride time, the walk time, the hike time, and it takes a lot of work to discover opportunities of this ilk. And be absolutely clear, the team that this company has put together is top notch, from social licensing, community relations, the technical work, the support and logistical staff, absolutely amazing. So the reason we're bringing this opportunity to you now is very, very simple. A couple of years ago, I saw the company with potential similar to this initially, and that company went on to make myself and readers millions and millions of dollars. It was life-changing money for several of us and several subscribers. I think this has even more potential, and I think it's going to coincide with the copper and gold market that's going to be historic and one for the books. So I think it's the perfect storm to profit from this opportunity. And the way you maximize gains in this game, everybody, is by getting in early, buying low, and selling high. You can't sell high if you don't get in early. It's just the way the game is played. You don't have to believe me. The proof is in the pudding. As I mentioned, we've done this several times, right? And so we have triple-digit winners, quadruple-digit winners. Heck, the last company that I thought had this potential, we were up as much as 10,000% at one point. I think this has even more potential than that, and I hope you join me for the ride. Junior Resource Monthly, it takes a very cyclical view at the commodities markets. I think we're entering a commodity super cycle that's going to last for the next 5 to 10 years, and we're gonna keep doing the hard work for you to deliver ideas and research of this quality so that you can maximize the profits and gains during this commodity super cycle.
Took a little time to admire the magnitude and grade of this deposit. Then, finally, it was time to race the sun back to our vehicle before dark.
Hey everybody, your Junior Resource Monthly editor, Gerardo Del Real. Look, I'm glad you're joining me. It's been a phenomenal trip. Now, it hasn't been the easiest of trips. We're put in 19-hour days, driving for hours, hiking for 10 hours. What I've just seen is some of the most amazing rocks and one of the best profit opportunities I've ever seen in my life. The potential, the scale, the variety of projects, the technical team, the quality of the team, the infrastructure, the community support. It's the perfect storm, or maybe the biggest win of my career. Again, just to provide some context, a couple of years ago, I had a win that was up as high as 10,000%. I've had 5 and 10,000% wins several times in my career. What got me into this business was I read about a company in the mid-90s that went from 25 cents to $35, and it happened within a short amount of time. That company's name was Arequipa. With Arequipa, it was 25 cents. They did some amazing work, channel sampling, the tunnel sampling, and so they were able to really pinpoint the sweet part of the system. And they did that in a very methodical way. We took the time to come out here because with Arequipa, it was a very methodical approach that allowed them to make that discovery, that forced Baratan to come in after a couple of drill holes and pay $35 for a stock that was 25 cents just before the discovery was made. I wanted to see if this company had the same methodical approach and just how they were managing and prioritizing what I'm calling this herd of elephants along this emerging new undiscovered copper gold belt. And I have to tell you, I've been more than impressed. Drilling will be happening for the next several years. The geophysics work is being done as we speak. The IP work, the channel sampling, all of the things that Arequipa did, we're doing here, but we're doing it with multiple projects. The herd of elephants I keep referring to. So here's what comes next, and here's what I envision could happen. The majors have to be all over this. We already have
the largest Canadian mining company, as a partner. I know their eyes are on not just one project, but many projects. Will there be an offer after the first discovery hole? Will there be an offer after the second one on the second project? We'll know soon, but there's many scenarios where we could go from a $60 million market cap to a $100 million market cap to a $500 million market cap to that ultimate prize, which is a buyout. And here's the kicker. The buyout may happen on just one project. The beauty of this portfolio is that there's so many projects that are so significant on a global scale that we could be seeing a scenario where a bidding war emerges between multiple majors for different parts of this entire 1,000 square kilometer plus copper gold belt. I hope that helps provide some context. Now, I could go on and talk to you about Junior Resource Monthly, but I want to emphasize that at Junior Resource Monthly, we take a very cyclical view to the commodities market. I believe that we're in a commodity super cycle that's going to see a historic copper, gold, uranium. I could go on down the list, but I think it's going to be an epic commodity bull market, and I want to make sure we maximize our gains. I think this is the potential to be one of the most historic commodity super cycles. People much smarter that have been in this game much longer than I are sticking around for this commodity super cycle. So I want to help guide the way. We've delivered wins before. We continue to take trips like this to highlight the opportunity. I can't wait to share the footage and some of the thoughts and some of the methodical approaches that we're taking to make this discovery one of those. And I'm hoping that you join me here soon. Enough about the trip, enough about Junior Resource Monthly. Come back to my office and let me show you a couple of more things.
I have compiled all the details about this company and my trip in a brand new report called Elephants in Peru, the Giant in the Jungle, and I'm giving it away to anyone who joins me at Junior Resource Monthly today. Why? Well, for several reasons. First of all, like I've been saying, I think this could become the biggest gold copper discovery in the history of the world, and that's worth knowing about all by itself. But I also think the stock behind it could create life-changing wealth, starting with the very first drill hole and continuing throughout all of 2025 and beyond. The better question is why now? And I'll answer that with a short story. It was June 2021 when I learned about a lithium discovery in the St. James Bay district of Quebec. With the world in the grips of electric vehicle fever, lithium prices had tripled that year, and lithium stocks in Quebec soared for the biggest gains of all. Gains of 1,250%, 2,000%, and 3,100% in just 1 year. But unlike those companies, this discovery was the real deal. I got my readers in the company behind it, Patriot Battery Metals, when it was only 16 cents a share. When these new discoveries get drilled out, the gains can come fast, especially when the underlying commodity price is cooperating. By the end of 2022, shares had climbed 51 times higher to over $8. And in 2023, they climbed to over $17.50. That's a 109 bagger that turns every $10,000 invested into over $1 million. Readers of mine got rich. I tell you all of this to help you understand the gravity of what I'm about to say next. This gold copper discovery in Peru that I'm sharing with you today has all of the same indicators as Patriot Battery Metals. I'm talking about a hidden discovery worth billions more than people know, a booming hot resource market, copper and gold, a government that now wants this area developed, and a major catalyst that will reveal its true holding. The biggest gains could come after just a few drill holes in 2025. Like Arequipa, it could go from a $60 million market cap to $500 million very quickly. That would be an 8-bagger. That's without any bidding war or further exploration, which is why I want to get my report, Elephants in Peru, the Giant in the Jungle, in your hands now. How much does a membership to Junior Resource Monthly cost? I think it's insanely cheap, especially considering all the time, money, and effort that go into this research. In many cases, I've spent years following the activities of these geologists before I recommend their companies. Because you simply can't do this work by just staring at a computer screen. It takes a lot of hard work and boots on the ground research to maintain the success I've experienced. Whether it's flying out to the Argentina desert to get a first-hand look at the lithium that will supply our electric future while enriching shareholders, and then watching that company eventually be a part of a $6 billion Rio Tinto buyout, or walking the conference floor with company executives at the most prestigious investment shows in the country. Or, as I did in this case, trekking through Peruvian mountains and jungles to show you firsthand what could become one of the largest gold-copper discoveries in the history of the world. There's not a stone I won't turn over if I think there's money to be made on the other side. As a result, I spend millions of dollars each year on research trips like this and growing my business. I've seen other publishers charge $1,000 for a year of specialty stock research, and none of them do nearly the amount of groundwork that I do. We want a price that allows more folks to profit from these life-changing opportunities. That's why access to Junior Resource Monthly costs just $399 a year. And at that price, it's an absolute bargain. However, as part of this limited time Peru offer, you can pay just half. When you get started today, you'll get 12 monthly issues of Junior Resource Monthly, 24/7 access to my model portfolio, and flash alerts, all for the discounted price of just $199 per year. You can see all the details plus some special bonuses I put together for you by clicking through to the next page. In return for the special discount, all I ask is that if you invest in any of the companies I've discovered and recommended and make big profits, that you'll write in and share your success story, just like Oscar M., who said,
I got in at 36 cents US with just $5,000. Needless to say, that's currently about a $140,000 profit.
or William, who wrote in saying,
Just want to say how excited I am to have bought around $3.50. I've made over $75,000 in profits just since the beginning of the year.
or George F., who said,
Thank you, Mr. Del Real. Thank you. Since using your publication, my portfolio is rapidly advancing. This is truly a dream unfolding. Thank you for your publications based on hard work and something that today is hard to find, your honesty and integrity.
That honesty and integrity starts immediately because I give every new member a 100% risk-free guarantee. If at any time over the next 2 months you're not satisfied with my research, simply contact customer service and you'll be refunded every penny you paid for this service. No questions asked. I stand behind every recommendation I make because it's often what I'm doing with my own money. And if I'm not making money, then my members aren't making money. That's why I can confidently offer each new member of Junior Resource Monthly a completely risk-free 2-month test drive. But I'm confident you won't need it because of all the stories I've broken in my career, of all the gains I've helped my readers make. I don't think anything compares to the opportunity that's unfolding with this Peruvian discovery right now. Flat out, I think it's the best opportunity you could ever have to make life-changing gains in the next few years. The kind that could allow you to retire early with more money than you know what to do with. But it's crucial that you position yourself right now before this mine's real wealth becomes public knowledge. Because if there's one thing I've learned in my investing career, it's that you've got to get in early and invest enough to make a real difference to your way of life. Especially because you can do so with a 100% money-back guarantee for 2 months. Remember, I've done all the legwork for you. I've traveled the globe, built an immense contact list of industry insiders, and put my boots on the ground to deliver these opportunities to you firsthand. My previous recommendations have delivered over 10,000% gains for early investors in less than 3 years. That's good enough to turn $10,000 into over $1 million. Could history repeat itself? And for you? Yes, but only if you act immediately. You've seen the project for yourself, and once the drill results start coming out, this mine's secret will be unearthed and everyone will know about it. I can't say how long this opportunity will last. It could be a matter of weeks. So I urge you not to miss your opportunity to take part in this historic discovery. Click on the button below to get started with Junior Resource Monthly today. Our corporate clients pay us thousands of dollars per month to deliver results that meet their demanding professional standards. But all this is yours today for only $199. And I'm completely guaranteeing your satisfaction for a full 2 months. Or call our friendly customer support staff toll-free at 844-334-4700, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is yours for the taking. I urge you to take advantage of it today.